Yeah, helps you get the ties to your
radio shows. That's exactly
This is so good. When they said they had a special lunch, they weren't joking.
Yeah, that's true.
I really forgot the RSVP too. Come to think of it.
Something else in your head versus signing
Christmas cards.
There's any tables that don't have cards, feel free to spread those out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not complaining. No problem. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I missed last week, maybe the week before that too.
Right.
I can't remember. So we're doing cards to give to people at the nursing homes,
Guess where he was?
like this French here.
So these are all birthday cards that we're gonna give here to NKABE for their seniors program. They're gonna send them to homebound seniors for their birthdays.
So they're just gonna store them.
Yep.
Use them when needed.
Yep.
That's right, okay.
You don't look secretive because you don't belong. And you're.
I feel bad because I didn't bring any, but I only read it just this morning, last night, actually.
With, News channel send us.
Those mashed potatoes are so good, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know?
They don't even have gravy on.
Pops, I'm pretty sure they have lots of butter.
They're a little tiny. I wish you had bigger pieces of other stuff today. I know, but I want you to have.
So is your,
Do you want another piece of chicken?
No, I'm having a hard time.
You want some? I'll go get you some.
My wife already. Oh, sorry. That's when I met her.
Vertically challenged.
Yeah.
Hey, you also
Anyway, St. Henry's School.
Maybe that's.
St. Henry. St. Henry. You know, much like St. Henry.
if they what?
St. Henry.
I'm sure that they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're doing good.
All right, everybody, Merry Christmas. I'd like to welcome you all to the December 16th edition of Rotary. Here to do our prayer pledge and four-way test. Neville. Father, we thank you so much for this end of the year special meeting that we have to think about the year that we've had and also to think about the birth of your son and the new year that awaits us. Father, we thank you so much for our president Ian and his foresight in equipment that will save many people's lives. And we pray, Father, that this would continue to be the spirit that we as Rotarians go into the rest of this year, this Rotary year. Father, we ask that you bless this food to our bodies and ask that you give us the energy from this body to expand the work of Rotary service above self and also eventually to expand your kingdom by doing this. Through your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. Please face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And then the things we think, say, or do first.
Is the truth.
Second.
Is the standard of all concerns.
Third. And fourth.
Thank you, Noel.
All right, hold on. We got a little cattywampus on the image here, but I know that.
Okay, do we have any visitors? No?
No.
Michelle, you great? Okay, so wonderful sports weekend. Yeah, yeah. Monty showed up today, but I'm gonna be gentle because it is the season. Wildcats played that team with the red jerseys and spanked them.
Yep.
But, I mean, I was gonna be gentle. Oh, me, I'm sorry. Joe took a beating yesterday, but the Bengals still won. That's a wonderful thing. Love to see the crowded room here. Thanks for the festive Barb Keeling, wherever Barb is. There you go, Barb. A big hand there. I wasn't sure if it was John Shingle or Barb Keeling that put the cloth out, the flowers and everything, but kind of leaned towards Barb on that one. I want y'all to know we're in the presence of Santa Claus.
Oh.
His name is Gary Willenhall. Gary's brought about 50 boxes of toys, the new perceptions to be distributed to our Northern Kentucky community. Very good, Gary. This is becoming a big, big deal for Rotary. So I want you to know that this is not, you know, hey, it's businesses, people, families are out there trying to help us, and Rotary has their name on the tip of their tongues that we're doing all this, and it's good people like Gary and others that are putting all this together. And I'm very, very grateful. We have the Steinford Toy Foundation will be at New Perceptions next week, and I know that's Christmas week. Don't get confused. Steinford does it pretty much a year ahead. So any of the toys they need, they'll come and harvest. But anything, they try to stay a year ahead for any kind of condition. So it's kind of like the golf outing. You try to stay ahead. Kind of makes sense if you could do it. So that's a wonderful thing going on, and everybody here is a part of that. Thank you. And Pat, you have a question?
I have a suggestion.
Did I yield? I yield to the gentleman from way down yonder in Rabbit Head.
There's been some companies that have been really supportive of Steinberg and our efforts with them. Heritage Bank is one, Best Way Disposal is one. Who's the insurance group up here?
Mueller.
Mueller, that's it. Just to send them a letter saying thank you, whoever the secretary is or whatever. Because you know, they do it every year, you know, and
I'll do that. That's a good idea. And the final thing that I think is really, really cool, and like I said, a full room Christmas. We had mentioned the thing, hats off to Ian Addington about the partnership with Christ Hospital and St. Elizabeth and all the AEDs that we distributed on a Wednesday, 163 as I recall.
That's awesome.
And Ian had heard tangentially that the AED was used in Alexandria the next day. It gets even a little further. My neighbor, many of you know that I've left the reservation. I'm now in across the Licking River. It's hard to say out loud. But my neighbor is a fireman for the city of Alexandria, and they have 5 firefighters on payroll for the city of Alexandria. And they just merged with Central Campbell, so they've added 2 more. They have 7 for that whole area. They have a neighborhood over there that has probably about the half the population of Florence, but who counts? But anyway, my neighbor saw a Facebook post where the Rotary people pictures were, probably Julie putting that out there. And he saw me in the background behind Helmig and asked if I was part of that. And I said I was. He said he was part of the he arrived with his bus, the ambulance, after the policeman had already shot the guy. This QR code or whatever's on there, which is way different than what we have used in the past. They transfer that information immediately to the guy on the bus. And that guy is alive and well, Ian.
all right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I want you to know that came out of the blue. I was driving up the street. He stopped me and said, "Hey, were you part of that?" And I said, "I'm a small part of that." And he said, "This is what's happened." And he said, "The guy lives 2 neighborhoods down. He made it."
That's awesome.
That's
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, yeah, I
This
don't
is a
know.
miracle.
I knew he was alive when he made it to the hospital, but that was, I guess, HIPAA and all that stuff. We didn't know anything
Oh,
beyond.
if Bob, it's his name.
We'll have him as a speaker soon. All right, well, that rolls us into Happy Dollars. Thanks for that, Sean. I've got some Happy Dollars. Gary.
Yeah, well, first I want to give a kind of a wrap up of the Steinford story. And
thank you. Thank you for Sean for providing good perceptions for place to deposit all these toys, and Paul Foods does printing for us, and for Steinberg Toy Foundation, it's kind of who we're supporting, but Tom Rickman gives the boxes for it. But we had we just share with you that who participated this year. Heritage Bank, Huff Realty, Master Provisions, St. Elizabeth Florence Hospital of Florence, Mueller Financial, Bourbon House Pizza, Triple Crown Chiropractic and Union, Best Way Disposal, Earl Franks and Sons, Dunham Law, Arlington House Air, RC Durham YMCA, and also I'm just slipped my mind, but there's one other, but
Fort Bank is in there.
Fort Bank, okay. They did-
What about the library?
Okay.
No.
Thank you, Fort Bank.
We don't.
And we did too. We collected toys here. But this is one of the easiest things your Rotary will ever do, because it doesn't cost us anything. We drop off boxes to a business. We do have to enlist businesses, but this could be expanded a lot more. And this started in Covington. So we're Boone County. So the other Rotary clubs, well, this ought to be a regional thing. And all it takes is, enlisting, going to your dentist, say, could we put a box? Or, going to your CPA or chiropractor, and then this could be really built upon. So it's a great project, costs us nothing. all the labor is just dropping a box off. I can put the toys up later, but no cost. And it does get I think, get a lot of it. Even though we're doing for Steinford, they know that Rotary is involved. So, but my dollars, we had a great year.
All right.
Mark. I got two, following up on what Nick said, Gary. My son, current Marine, did toys for Tots this year, so he was out doing exactly the same thing for that side. And since we're on a Marine Corps roll, we'll just say, go Navy, beat Army.
There you go.
In my first semester of my master's program, I've done stuff I've never done before. I got a 4.0.
Oh, that's
Well, I think I might stop there.
Barb.
So my son-in-law was in the Navy, very happy that they beat Army. My husband was in the Army, so he wasn't so happy. And he was Rudolph on Saturday ringing the bell at the Burlington Kroger, and he came home to find out Army lost. So anyway, my son-in-law has been in the Middle East since July. He comes home Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
To California, and my husband and I are going out there for a week, and then we're all going to Hawaii for 2 weeks. So
Nice. Nice.
Leroy.
Okay, I was just gonna say that my youngest grandson, he's a wrestler, and they had a big tournament at Ryle this past weekend, and he came in #1 for the
Nice.
Bye.
And I'll throw one more dollar in for the fact that the Irish beat both Navy and Army.
Here.
Ian, Chris, I've got 2 of them. I picked it up. Picked up my daughter yesterday from UK, so she's home for break. My son comes home Wednesday morning, and about to book flights to go to Florida for like 24, 48 hours because my niece and great nieces from Dubai are in the country. So I'm gonna go see my great nieces, and one is only 6 months old, and I haven't met her yet. So
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn this over to Susan. And this is not the most riveting material to go over for Christmas, but I feel like it's important. So we're gonna kind of give you all the annual report here. So
do we want
kick
people
off-
to sign cards as?
Oh, yeah, we're in You all each should have a supply of greeting cards, birthdays, Christmas cards. We're gonna sign these if you want to jot a little personal note. Just to make the seniors' day, we're gonna send these out. I think the Council on Aging is the.
Yeah, it's council, staff here with us. But the reason we're doing birthday cards rather than Christmas cards is these will be available throughout the year for, especially clients that are really home now. They serve probably about 5,000 hometown retreat clients here in the region.
Okay.
But when I said sign your name, sign Florence Rotary, and if you want to write a personal note, whatever you would, when you normally write. But I'd ask for your name and just say Florence Rotary.
That sounds good. So while you get the annual report, then if you want to just keep signing away, that'd be great. All right.
Can I say back?
Sure. I can start.
I think we can just do one.
Yeah, all the sign one or.
That's
Does it matter if everybody at the table signs one or you want one individual on each one?
I just figured one individual would do it.
Yeah, one individual.
Write your name and.
And do not seal them, because you never know, they might want to include something with the card.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody donates gift cards or something like that, and don't put anything on the front.
Ladies, when you're finished eating, you're gonna sign in cards.
Right, so I'm gonna start with just some updates. So our membership total is now at 57. And we have 12 new members. Our average meeting attendance is about 52%, and we've had, I worked on the numbers, but I didn't want to put it in here. We've had about 35 to 40 guests that have joined us, different guests that have joined us throughout the year of 2024. And I am going to switch and tell you these numbers because it didn't come up great. But as we look at our club statistics, again, we have 57 members. We have 48% male, 32% female. So that's really come a long way.
Wow.
And just since I joined a little over a year ago. And our years of service, so 0 to 1 is 42%, but I want to celebrate our 26 plus. And that is 7 members. We have 7 members who have been with Rotary for 26 plus years. And then for our age, if you'll look at this one, we have really spread this out in the last year. About a year and a half ago, it was kind of all going one way.
Sir.
And it could go better if we had some birth dates. I'm going to use this as a plug. So if your date of birth is not in DAC-DB, I encourage you to get it in there or work with me and I'll get it in there for you. By doing that, it ensures that we have accurate data that we report out on. Any questions about this?
No.
All right, and let's say a big thanks. Here's all of our new members. So Casey Ashcraft, Carrie Connor, Tiffany Day, Steve Ellis, Carolee List, Jim Wilms, Jeff Elswald, Jill Holder, Katie James, Margaret Lee, Chris Pavesi, and Connie Soho. So welcome to all. Just going over our membership types. And then lastly, we had 969 hours. And I know that that's not all.
Nope.
Because I am even guilty of not having my hours in. But just for the hours that have been put in, that's an economic value of over $22,000 for our whole.
Wow.
So again, I encourage you to go into DAC-DB and put your volunteer hours in. If you have questions or you need assistance, let me know. And I can also help you with putting those hours in to ensure that we're, again, reflecting correctly what we've done for the community this year. And I'm going to turn it over to Tiffany now.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
We're gonna figure out this clicker together. So I'm here to discuss our treasury report for year end. I wasn't here all year because I did have a baby at the beginning of the year. May.
Yeah.
But so a couple of months I wasn't here, so I don't know really what happened in those few months, but we'll get there.
let me show you what our treasury report was. Okay. There you go. So for our memberships, dues paid, and this is as of December 11th, we have $18,210. Now I know that we had some come in to start of the next year, so this number is a little bit higher than years past. So we paid 81 to the Rudy district, and then our annual fee for Rudy International, we paid almost $5,200 too. And then our lunches. This is all boring stuff, I'm sure, but lunches paid by was about 11,600. That's about relatively the same going past in the past year. Our meal expense, we broke about even with our meal expense and everything throughout the year. So we had other sources of income though. We had our ads, our ad buttons. We had various donations and we had happy bucks. So whenever we have something happy, pay $1, you're helping out. Had a few expenses, later awards and ceremony gifts. And then I got this on our PO box work. So as of December 11th, our current accounts, they're at $6,700. Our direct fund is about $4,400, and we have our petty cash for $100. Right, now I'll pass it over to Karen.
All right, there you go. You don't be green, be correct.
This one's done.
These are done. So these are done. There we go. Sorry.
Found my glasses.
Right.
So total assets for the foundation as of December 15th is $47,723.43. Of that, for operating, we have a little over $20,000, and restricted, we have a little over $27,000. And most of that restricted amount is for our scholarship. So that actually comes up to $26,690 in our scholarship fund. The other part of restricted breaks down to some in the gaming fund and some in the endowment for John Salyers and contractors. Our total revenue, so that's what we have sitting in the bank right now. For January 1 to December 15, we had a total revenue of just under $22,000. We had total expenditures of almost $19,100. Most of those, again, the scholarships, Rotary International, Citizen of the Year. We do pay for lunches for all of our speakers. That's only about $366. And our fundraising costs, I'm really happy to say, are actually very low when you look at this. Our clay shoot, $355 was our expenses to put the clay shoot on. The golf fundraiser was a little over $5,300 to put that on. Any questions for me on the foundation? Senator.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
Gary, explain to me, I've been in this club for quite a while, and so I'm sure there's other folks that might have the same question. But we get stuff in the mail from, I guess it's the national or it's the foundation, or encouraging us to make a contribution to the foundation.
Yes.
And then we have our foundation dinner and like that. How is that separated? I mean, how's the national, or maybe it's the international, I don't know.
It's international.
The polio and all. How's that, does each club also have its own foundation?
I don't know if each club has its own foundation. Greg might be able to answer that, but some of the larger clubs do have their own foundation to fund really local projects like our scholarship and our Citizen of the Year, our Teacher of the Year. We haven't had, I didn't list this one on here, but that would be another one that our foundation supports. So
So we have our own, that's for one of those clubs.
that we're one of those clubs that has our own foundation. The Rotary International Foundation, you hit on one of them, Polio Plus. They have 7 areas that they really emphasize. So it's mother and children, it's education, it's environment, it's Polio Plus, and I'm forgetting the other 3 off the top of my head. But they really do that, and then it's up to the local clubs to really look at what's going on in Boone County. What is a need that we see here in Boone County that the Rotary Club could really step up.
So our operating budget is what we do, like these things,
Yes.
all these big projects.
If you remember, we started our foundation in 2010. And that was before lots of tax changes. And so to be able to take a contribution to a charity off on your taxes, you had to be giving the money to a 501c3 organization.
Yep.
We weren't. So we created our foundation, and that made us a 501c3. So anything people gave to our club was then tax deductible. That's not as big a deal anymore because we've all got such a large personal deduction that a lot of us don't have to itemize deductions anymore. But that's always been a club thing. Not all clubs have a foundation. Not all districts have a foundation. It's something that kind of has evolved over time. But the thing that you got your email about was to the Rotary International Foundation. And that's also the Polio Plus, the foundation, the endowment fund. Those are all multi-million-dollar foundations run by Rotary International. And that's what really is the financial engine for Rotary International. What they get from club dues doesn't really cover a lot of expenses. So all the projects that we do around the world, water projects, education projects, all those things, that money comes from our international foundation.
And John was involved in that, wasn't he, John?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was very involved in that.
Yes.
And he's the one that always wanted the tax reduction.
Yes. That's like John.
Harry, did you find anybody using QCDs for foundation?
No. Not that
Anybody know what a QCD is?
No, that was a question.
It's a qualified charitable distribution. And if you're older than, I think 73, it might be, you can use your IRA, take a, and send a contribution from your IRA directly to the charity. And
You're talking about your required minimum distribution.
as part of
And
your
if you take it direct and give it directly to a charitable organization, it counts toward as your required minimum distribution, but you don't have to put it on your income tax return. So it's even better than taking it and then making a contribution.
in fact, it even can be more than your IRA.
I think somebody did do that, did they not,
Say,
Leon?
did I give
We
you
have,
right?
we have several people who
Right.
donated to
I
the
did,
foundation
yeah.
through, for various projects and
Right.
things like that. And we get that on behalf of their custodian for the RMD, so.
Yeah.
Which is very
My
good because I just had to take an RMD out and I had to pay taxes to it, but the federal government, I get one from them, and unfortunately, they don't have a provision in there where you can distribute it to an organization. It's distributed to you, so then it's taxable.
Yeah.
Then I can turn around and give it, to
Right.
someone, but it's taxable.
Anyone wants to do that, talk to us. We're more than happy to.
Be glad to help you.
Sounds like that.
All right. I'm gonna turn- Scholarship update.
I'm not
correct
enough.
Yes, easy.
I'm afraid you're giving correct advice.
Oh, okay. Oh, Matt, it's Matt.
Yeah, I can do scholarship.
You son? All right.
So, this last year, I think we gave away 7 scholarships. So Matt Webster and Jordan Dallas Turner, stepped up and kind of led the interview committee in that process. So, but I think that's about it. Scholarship applications do open January 1st for this next year. Who's next? Greg, you're next.
The district is in good shape. Last year, we added a new club. And then chartered a club in Prestonsburg, Kentucky, the first time we've chartered a new club since I can remember. Okay. They started with about 25 members. They're meeting regularly. They're having the growing pains of any toddler. And I'm going down later this week to have lunch with them, their board. And a couple of the past district governors are going to go. And we're just trying to encourage them not to give up and keep going. They got some good folks down there. They got a nice place to be. So it'll work. The district grew last year in membership. First time we've done that in many years. We were getting to a point where Chicago was looking at us thinking, maybe you're not a viable district anymore. We'll just add you to somebody else. But I think we've gotten past that for now. A big part of that is each club growing like ours had. Makes a huge difference. Been a good year for training. I attended the Rotary Leadership Institute this past summer. We've got another one coming up in January. Mark's going to go with me. This is a 3-year program that the district puts on to help Rotarians of any walk, any responsibility, learn more about Rotary. And then if you've got an idea that you might want to be in a leadership position, it's a great program because it gives you some background. It gives you some context on what Rotary does outside the walls of a club. We've got PETS training coming up in March, President-elect training seminar. That'll be a big deal. This is the year that I'm the 5 district governors that come together for this Mid-South PETS. This is our game this year. So we've spent a lot of time in the last couple of years training and planning and putting together a program. I think it's going to be great. We have completely redone the program for training assistant governors. And so that's going to be exciting to see how that goes. It was a tough year for polio. The fight against polio has taken a step back. I think we were down to 11 new cases last year. This past year, it's going to be more in the high 20s. And it's the same old areas, Pakistan, Afghanistan, the worst possible places in the world to have to fight a communicable disease. We've had some workers killed. It's been a tough year, but we're not going to give up. We don't care what RFK Jr. says. We're going to keep going. What else is there to say? We've got a district conference coming up next summer. It's going to be in Chattanooga. It's going to be us combined with other districts, Eastern Kentucky, Eastern Tennessee, and Northern Alabama. Now, the benefit of having a big conference like that is that we're going to get some amazing speakers. We're going to get past Rotary International presidents, 2 of them, Don Germ and Mark Maloney. You don't get to hear these guys very often. They really are royalty from the Rotary area. It'll be in downtown Chattanooga, which is a fun place. It's a safe place. There's going to be a little bit of work, not much. It's going to be mostly fun. And when the news comes out, I hope you'll all consider coming. It's not going to be real expensive except for a 5-hour drive and a couple $100 in hotel costs. But it'll be a fun time. I mean, you're going to get to see Rotarians from different areas than just Northern Kentucky and Lexington. It'll be kind of fun. What have I left out, Ian? Anything?
Well, I'm going to cover one thing in my later remarks, but we've got a seed planted at least in Campbell County.
Yes, we do.
So,
and that'll be one of my goals is to get that club restarted in Campbell County. We have 39 clubs in the district now. Sounds like a lot, but there are a lot of districts that have twice that. Geographically, we got a big area to cover. I'll be putting a lot of miles on my truck, but that's okay. I like it. Thank you.
Greg, will there be an interpreter there for Northern?
speak on this.
Or, I don't, is Don here? So our programs are in great shape. The programs team, Don and everybody, has been doing a fantastic job. We've had great speakers. So if you have speakers, let Don and Carolee know. We're actually booked, I think. We're booked up until March, we're into March, and booking speakers, so. It's nice to have it that far ahead planned, so. But kudos to the program team.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm back. Yeah. So the awareness team, which is the Rotary awareness for just the club, but also Rotary International. We have started our monthly meetings up. We had one last month. We have one this month. We have a couple of ad hoc members. I pulled Marcus and Margaret in. And so, but that's creating awareness of our club and all the good that we do isn't just our job. It's everybody's job. So if you see something on social media, please like and reshare. When we set the event, please say you're attending the event, invite people to the events. It's all of our jobs to keep that going. But I think with the Project Heart Restart, we've got a lot of good momentum going on that.
Thank you. All right, so before we get into this, I'm gonna have Barb, did you want to speak about team one?
Well, team one is number one, but so since July, we've done the Citizen of the Year. We had that presentation. Donna Wellhoff was our Citizen of the Year. Very generous, wonderful person that does so much in our community. She's a little down right now. She had her knee operated on, so she had knee replacement. I'll say a little prayer for Donna that she gets through this. But so we did that. We did the fishing outing. We did the golf outing and made lots of money for our scholarship program. And our next and so then we're also updating the plaques that have like the Teacher of the Year on it, Citizen of the Year, that type of thing. And they're going to be posted over on the wall over there. They're going to let us post them here in the club.
Cool. Yeah.
Because they've been in a closet for
Years.
8 years.
Yeah.
The district is very much in favor of making us know that we are home.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So we're gonna use that little wall over there, and they're actually at the engravers right now.
That's cool.
And so when we get them back, then we'll do an arrangement there. Our next big project is our Teacher of the Year, which the applications will go out 1st of January, and then we'll have that in April after Easter. So that's what team one's up to.
All right.
All right.
So I'm gonna speak real quick to team two. Let's see, there are a couple things that we have that we can either package into a like a basket for auction or raffle. And I think the raffle is probably the most likely thing to happen, but we've got a framed original movie poster with Frank Sinatra and Doris Day. We do have a bottle of 10-year Pappy Van Winkle that is able to be auctioned off. We value that at about $1,000, but I think we got 1,300 or something at the last Paul Harris dinner. And then we've got a NKU flag, which would be a good addition to like an NKU basket. So what I think we may end up doing is asking each Rotarian to sell raffle tickets, $5 tickets, say 20 of them or so. Everybody, raises $100, and then that could raise $3,000 to $5,000 towards the foundation. So, but that really is the update from Jim. And all right, so as far as club highlights go. So I rattled off during my initial comments of passing the cabinet, the things that I wanted to focus on. So increasing our membership. Let's see, I think that's actually 12 now, new members. So our total membership is now 59. Encourage greater cohesion among the members. So I've met with 12 people one-on-one just for coffee, breakfast, lunch, whatever. There's a lot more of you that I would like to get to in the second half of this year. And then, push for more community cleanups and, you know, get rolling up our sleeves, getting our hands dirty. That I have so far, failed at, but we'll get to it. Spring is coming.
A little strong and crisp, yeah, don't you?
I am my own worst critics.
Yeah.
And then organize more social outings. So, I think that's an effort that Mark is going to continue, when he takes over. And, the board has discussed some options for this, including, you know, maybe a Cyclones game, MKU basketball games, things like that. So, stay tuned. We'll have some good ideas there for you. And then, yeah, so, we did the, focused nonprofit at the, Florence Business Council meeting. That's where that, grotesque picture of me came from with the, almost beard. This picture here with the Project Art Restart, that was actually the announcement meeting, at the Florence Event Center. Where St. Elizabeth committed to raise, 300 grand for us. So they already paid their 150, and then of the 150 left that they need, I think they've got 75 of it already taken care of. So that's already good to go. I don't know if that reached everyone's ears, but they wanted, because they've got a hospital in Grant County, they wanted to increase the footprint of Project Art Restart to include Grant and Gallatin counties as well. So Boone, Kenton, Campbell, Grant, Gallatin, and Pendleton counties are all AED park ready counties. So we celebrate others, you know, to Barb's comments, Donna Wilmhoff, Citizen of the Year, Teacher of the Year winners, including my better half. Julie, 1-to-1 reading program. If there's anything you want to add to that.
No, it's just, I know I've continued on this year. My little guy's in second grade, and it was very cool because the first day when we were over at the school, he comes running down the hall and he goes, "I hope you'd be back." And so, yeah.
And these kids are showing significant improvements.
Yeah.
And catching up to grade level. Play this video.
I don't think we have time to play it. It's on our YouTube channel. We'll put a great video together. I think, yeah. So, here, I'll talk about this one. So Ian and I are kind of tag teaming on this because I had the first half of 2024 and he's got the second half. So my kind of goal during the first half of the year was, or during my presidency, was really getting kind of our bones together, the operational of the club. So we updated our bylaws. We got our membership team that's been under restart, Michelle, and that team's doing an awesome job. Our board of directors, our terms got out of compliance, and so we got that back into sync. The club has a Google Drive, so the club actually owns all of our documents. So if something were to happen to me, Ian has the login for it. And so everything is owned by the club rather than individuals. Same thing with all of our photos, just raising the awareness of DAC-TV and the usage of it, with the help of Marcus and Susan and getting the team members in there. And something that I started doing with Ian and we've done with Mark, and Dwayne did this also, is we're trying to have probably maybe every other month, just kind of a presidential, we get together for breakfast, talk about what the goals are for the year and seeing how we can support the presidents coming in to keep that continuation so they don't feel like they're on an island. When I took over as president, I couldn't find like some kind of task list because there's lots of things when you come over as president that you have to do, especially in DAC-DB, and nobody tells you. I couldn't find a list. So I started that list and passed that on to Ian. And we've been able to get those programs confirmed 2 to 3 months ahead of time, which is really helpful. So I really focus my term on just kind of the operations, building the bones.
Great, thank you. All right, we had the golf outing, which was a blast.
So good. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I think I used that on the sell of our promo.
You just release that
Hey,
day?
let me take my yellow jacket off just for that picture.
Pick up the trash.
Gary spoke about the Steinford Toy Foundation. This is an old picture from, like last year or 2 years ago.
No, actually, that's a new one. I swapped it out.
Is it? Okay.
That's this year.
Very good. Great. All right. And then looking forward to 2025. So I talked about this a little bit with Greg, but we've got, some fellows, Heritage Bank guys along with me that are, we've looked at potentially being the godfathers of a new Rotary Club in Campbell County, whether that's going to be a Newport Club or like Alexandria Campbell County Club. That they're trying to get that back up off the ground. I think they've recognized a few folks they'd like to invite to some kind of meeting with us.
Yeah.
And are trying to nail down a place to meet. NKU had committed a room, but then I think parking was going to be a fiasco there, so they've kind of backed off of that. But and then Mark, some of this will be yours.
Yes, last 4 points are just a start, and just thinking of what the following year can bring to us. I was thinking about increasing the amount of Paul Harris Fellows that we have for a start. And based on the conversation that we had, thank you, John, more exposure of the foundation and increase giving to the foundation. And as we spoke about moments ago, the quarterly social opportunity of some sort. And then I'd like to bring back the Rotary of the Year. We haven't had one for.
So we do have some news on that front.
Yes.
We do have a Rotarian of the Year meeting planned. It's going to be February 24th. She already knows who it is. So Barb, we love you. You're going to be our Rotarian of the Year. Outstanding. But to get that going every year, we definitely need to have that. So. District grants still kind of outstanding. So Project Heart Restarts money has gone over, but the grant hasn't been closed out. And then
I'm still working with Boone County High School in there. I've got 100 pounds of lids in my garage. So.
And that has been since COVID.
Yeah.
That's been out there. So. And then a future grant idea for Mark was, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if everyone was here when the young lady from All Abilities came and talked to us about young children in need that aren't specifically old enough to be in Special Olympics. And they have a building project going on right now for a ball field. It's, I don't know if you ever saw Sean Casey's ball field that he built. My grandson is in that program of All Ability, so I was thinking maybe we could help out in that. It's just kind of an initial thought.
We still got to pin down details, but
Absolutely.
not in the direction you want to go.
Yeah.
All right, and then going forward in 2025, what would you like to see in the club, and what are your passions and talents? So, we would like to see new ideas. We'd like to see. If someone has a particular talent, they want to do something, a physical activity that we can all get into. Let's talk about that and get kind of a plan for that. So that's the end of the presentation. Next meeting, we'll be off for the next two. Will be January 6th. We got Sal Pacente from the Universal Game Protection Development.
He's very entertaining. So he is a consultant. He is a consultant for the gambling industry. He travels all over the world lecturing on how to stop like people from cheating at gambling and stuff. Carolee and he actually was featured in an article in Oak Brook Living magazine. That's how I learned about him. We reached out to him, and Carolee and I went over and met with him for 2 hours and just had a great old time with him. He's also an expert at how to increase your memory capabilities. So we're still trying to figure out exactly what angle he's going to do, but he's very entertaining. So my kids are going to be home, and my kids are going to be coming. So
anyway, with that, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Have one for the Rotarian.
There you go. It's not.